Thanks so much, everybody coming. Thanks for the many and wonderful, heartfelt welcomes. And it just really, really also shows how we all need a place like that where we can just gather and come together. It's amazing energy in this room. It's like buzzing. I'm sure you can pick it up as well. So I'm really, really excited, and and the chorus line and all of it is like a nice addition. I'm loving it. So when I was asked to come here to platform today, I was like, yay! And so I was throwing around what kind of topics we do. So Gary said, why don't you go for the topic of how to find your purpose? We're all searching for it. It's a new year. We all are fired up for like, no, this is not going to happen anymore. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then we go kind of like, what is it? So you know what doesn't work, but we normally don't know what does work. And even though 2016 last year brought a lot of interest back, we had to be very honest with ourselves. It was a completion year. Lots of things fell away. We had to make decisions. It didn't allow gray areas. And then we created those wonderful platforms, or we are still in the middle of it. And then we go like, and now? And then we all want to find our purpose. But the thing is, like, purpose is such a huge word. And unless we don't feel we have that purpose, we feel lost. So no matter what else we do or don't do in our life, all of a sudden, that's completely out of focus. Because I don't have a purpose. But what exactly is a purpose? It's kind of like everybody's looking for this one specific thing. I need to know what I'm born for. Well, first of all, you're here because you've chosen to. So there goes number one. Secondly, with that comes a multitude of lessons and gifts and opportunities. So a purpose can never only just be one thing. What happens to the other 560,000? Let me not go into super mode with numbers now. But there are so many things we are and so many facets we are, but we want one purpose. So what is purpose? Purpose for me is something, or what I always experience myself personally and in the work that I'm doing is, it's the accumulation of living your passion. It is the saddest thing when I have people sitting in front of me and say, okay, fine, you've got the platform, you have all of that, it's now about you. What is your passion? They go like, I don't know. It has always been about the roles we play, about being the daughter or the son, being the husband or the wife, being the dad or the mom, being the employee. It has always been about those roles, and we keep on ticking the boxes and do what we think we need to do. Every now and then we rebel a bit, but then we find another box. So, and this is who we are and how we've been brought up. Not anybody is there in order for us wanting to feel that way, but how we feel about things is our choice. And it's all based on an action. We can't think our way into purpose. It's like I can sit at home for years and read the best books in the world. There's many. But purpose and passion is not a thought. It's linked to an action. A little kid is excited about a bicycle. If you make this kid look at that bicycle for 5 years, there it goes. It's like, if you don't let the kid get on the bicycle, how is it going to get feedback? So it's actually more fun than I thought. I was excited to start with. Now I got on it and see what I can do with that. And I can go off-road and on-road and put on my nose in between, but that's fine. But the excitement and the passion is bigger than actually they're like, if we just look at it, it might be safer. So our purpose is a lot of actions that bring or match our passion. Now, what is our passion? Literally anything that blows our hair back. But the thing is, we don't dare indulge in it, at least not to the extent, because I have to be a mother first, and I have to be this first, and I have to be that first. All those roles that we are playing can only be as balanced, authentic as we are. Now, if we don't stand in our passion, if we don't know who we are, if we don't know what fuels our soul, we sure take a lot of liberty making those decisions for everybody else in our life. Believe me, my child, that's good for you. You know that how? Well, I read a book. Because we don't allow it in our life. We're not living it, and I'm generalizing. Some of it do it to a certain extent. And there comes a point that we kind of like, we sure know what does not work. Right, so now we focus on what does not work. That's established, that's done. It served you for something, you needed to get to that point, but then we wallow on like, how slow learner am I? Why don't I get this? And then we beat ourselves up instead of saying, just let me try the opposite side. Passion that leads to purpose is an action. It's not going to happen on your sofa, in a book, in your head. Not happening. Go out there, ride that bicycle. Only one way to find out. You might make a profession out of it, who knows, or you might not, but you had fun in the meanwhile. We're taking life way too seriously, and the one thing you forget first is having fun. Life is not a punishment system. Neither was last year, nor is this year. It's simply a matter of us, what do we want to include and what don't we want to include. I mean, if you put your hands on a stove and you burn your hands, are you going to keep on putting your hands on it? No, you're not. But we keep on repeating patterns that are harmful for us, that we don't like, that don't sit right with us. Say yes when we mean no, say no when we mean yes. And what other outcome we're supposed to have? So how do we find our passion? The problem is not that we don't have purpose. Our problem is that the way we're trying to find it. We expect to walk like into places like this, which are wonderful, and then the heaven opens up, and there's this big beam of light. It's like, yes, I got it. No, you're not. Well, I'm still waiting for it anyway. So this is not. There is this big theory out there. This is this one thing we do. And if you look at your life, where you came from, where you are now, and where you're going to go most likely, it's like so many steps involved, and each of that served something. Each of it served your purpose, your life journey. But no, we want one thing. You're not one thing. We're multifaceted, and that's how we're supposed to be. I like the spiritual life, but I ride motorbikes. I like to teach, and I like teaching kids. I'm a psychic, I'm a medium, I'm a numerologist, but I also just like hanging out with my friends and do art. None of it is wrong. But each on its own ain't enough either. So it's not one thing. We're so multifaceted. So the way to get to our purpose is allow in the passion and do it. It's all about action. Oh, I wish I could do that. Okay, what's stopping you? I don't have time. Really, we don't have time. If we want to have time, we have time. It's that simple. Next thing is like, oh, what are the neighbors going to say? You know, it really doesn't matter, because what other people think ain't your business, because you have no control over it anyway. So if you do or don't do it, they still have their own minds up to it. It doesn't matter, but the one difference is you're going to be in such a better place. And with it, you have the automatic ripple effect that you are automatically being the best mom, the best this, the best that. Energy is an inside-out job, not an outside-in job. It's not if you tick all the boxes, there's instant enlightenment and purpose. It's the other way around. Plus, you're living it automatically. People can tap into you, especially with children. We tell them one thing and we live another. We mean well. The intent is so right. But it's like you need to look after yourself. Yes, Mom, how are you doing that? Oh, yeah, right. You're not looking after yourself at all. You're running in circles. You don't sleep enough. You're saying yes when you say no, but you're telling me I need to look after myself. Right. So what do kids learn? What they see, not necessarily what they hear. And I worked with kids my whole life, believe me. So, and we all know that. So if we owe anything to anybody, the whole world actually, if we want to go down this whole route of like, I feel guilty and all of those feelings, like when we dare to take time for our own passion, we feel guilty about not having done that or having neglected that or taking time away from here. Guilt is the most useless notion people ever came up with. It's not even a natural thing. It doesn't serve anything at all. Only thing guilt is actually serving is as a manipulative tool. And most of all, we volunteer it to ourselves. They don't even have to do it to us. Oh, I can't take time for myself right now. Maybe just put the feet up and read a book or go for a walk, because then I'm a bad mother. I should rather use this time to play with my children. You know what? You're going for a walk and being in a good place benefits your kids 10 times over than you sitting there being all like and just taking the time with your kids. It's an inside-out job. It's a ripple effect. It's like throwing a stone in a pond and say, only ripple that way. No, you're the source. If you're okay, everything is okay. If you're happy, that tap into happy. It becomes a natural flow. Again, what's our purpose? Allow your passion. Open up to your passion and do it. Just absolutely do it. Also, this whole way too head-oriented. Head is a wonderful thing, brain is a great thing, but sometimes it just simply needs to know its place. It runs us. It's ridiculous. We know what we want, and we have this strong gut feel, or whatever. Everybody has it. It's not about being like this, that, and everybody has a gut feel. We know what we want. And then goes the brain and goes like, we're not going to do that. So we're not going to do that. We compromise again. And afterwards we go like, I shouldn't have done that. And we do it over and over and over and over again. So finding your purpose and your passion is a shift from your brain into your gut, your heart, your soul. That's who we are. We are soul in motion. We are simply a meat suit our soul has chosen for this journey. And we're taking the meat suit, and I'm purposely using this word to bring it down a bit, more important than what we are in our content. We soul. That's the one thing we keep on ignoring. I've never heard of anybody say, I wish I would have not listened to my gut feel. I worked in so many countries with so many people of all age groups. I'm yet to hear that. It's always the other way around. I knew it, I went against it, and there I am again. And then the next time, off we go again. And also, if you see what we're listening to, we need both, by all means. Both of them are very, very important, but the brain is supposed to be there to help execute where the soul is leading us, not to constantly question everything the soul comes up with. But this is how we've been trained. So this is also a time, especially right now where we're in a one global year as well, where it is about new beginnings, why we feel so thrown out. Because we need to get the brain in its right space. Brain is a great thing, but it's second in line and not the other way around. So this is about having fun, allowing joy in. How many of us are actually really having fun? It's a theory, but we want the kids to have it. We want our loved ones to have it, but none of us. It's okay. Well, if we're supposed to generate it, how on earth is it going to work? Well, literally, how on earth is this going to work? It isn't. So start listening to your gut. It will never, ever mislead you. Your gut, your soul, your heart is the accumulation of all the knowledge you had in all those lifetimes, straight line above and beyond, no limitations of time and space. So it can be hundreds, thousands, whatever years old. And our brain is an organ that's born with us in this lifetime. It's extremely limited. So if we see how we put what importance to which, thousands of years of unlimited knowledge, and in my case, 45 of very selective input into a brain that needs to be trained up to the second. And every time I go with that one, and I'm surprised why that didn't quite work out. It's literally like going with the preschooler over the varsity professor. And then we go, oops, and we do it again. So we need to trust our instincts on that. So all those wonderful concepts like purpose and all that's great. It is not complicated. We make it complicated. Have fun, have passion, incorporate it. Most of all, allow yourself. That's all it is. Let it happen. It's there. You create it for everybody else. You're in a good space, they're in a good space. So if anything, and it's this one word, like when I first came into country, I'm from Germany, I didn't speak a word of English, and there's people using the word selfish around me. And I heard self-wish, and I was always wondering why they have such a negative connotation to it. Until somebody wanted to explain it to me. So, but I'm actually going back to self-wish, because that's what it should be. It should be changed in the dictionary. Because if we can't wish the best for ourselves, if we don't know what it is, what it looks like, what it smells like, how it works, how to get it, how to have it, and keep it in my life, how is that going to work? I don't know who I am, what I am, but I want the purpose. Well, it's back to front. So if anything, this year, let it be a year of self-wish. Put yourself first. Automatically you have the ripple effect. And no, selfish doesn't exist anymore. It's got to be self-wish. You're the source. That's what you got to feed. And I hope I didn't talk too long again. Thank you.